let's move on to what George and I kind of consider us experts at. Actually, we're not experts at anything. Before we move on, that, my friend, is from the Eton Corporation.
How do you get one?
It's a Ruckus XL, and it's a solar-powered, Bluetooth-enabled boombox with an 8-speaker system. Flip that panel up, man.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, man. Show them what it's about. Look at that shit.
Look, man, just look. Stop. Here's what you do. Either go tweet Eton Corp with a picture of your tailgate. Excellent. Or just create a video response.
Yes.
15 seconds or less telling us what you would do with this.
And we'll give you one. Best video response gives one. If you tweet at Eton Corporation a picture of your best tailgating photo with the hashtag Eton Tailgates, you get an opportunity.
And do it already. No one's put in a video response yet.
Now, let's get on to week 3 of college football.
Let's start with the one upset. The one upset in the top 25 was TCU. TCU lost to Texas Tech.
Yes.
This loss is looking worse and worse for LSU. And what I mean by that is LSU beat TCU, but if TCU keeps backsliding and keeps losing games, win this stupid system, it doesn't help because your strength of schedule is going in the shit.
Yes.
So
I don't know what's going on. I think some of these teams are...
I know Wisconsin's losing.
Wisconsin's losing to Arizona State. Wisconsin right now is ranked 20th in the country, and they're struggling. They're down 32-24 with about 5 minutes left. That could change, but it looks like Arizona State's going to pull it.
Why are they playing a football game that's literally 11 o'clock at night?
Because they're on the West Coast, bro.
It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 p.m.
Well, it's the end of it. They started at probably like 8:30 on the West Coast.
That's insane.
I know.
Like, that is insane. Aren't these kids students? Don't they need to study and spend time? And I mean... Seriously, if this is truly about being a student, you're not going to schedule a game where these assholes kick off at 8 o'clock at night. And it's not on any major... Point. I mean, that's just stupid.
I know. Very valid point, George. Now, before you go into school ethics and all that other shit and go into a rambling tirade, I'm going to cut you off, and we're going to talk about the game of the week, which was Alabama versus Texas A&M, and it was featuring your favorite person in the world, Johnny Football Manziel. Now, before you go on and talk about how much of a brat he is, which I agree with, this motherfucker can ball. I will say that. He is like he's playing ball in your backyard. Like when you were a kid and you're running around scrambling and he's got a little bit of luck on his side. I mean, I say a little because anytime that you put up 500 some fucking yards of offense against Alabama when it's never been done before, and you put up that kind of offense against Alabama, then you can only have but so much luck. It's some of the stuff that you're doing that people are going, the corners are starting to bite because they're like, he's going to get sacked. He's going to get caught. And his receivers are like, not Johnny Football Manziel. I'm going to keep running. And so he creates openings because he does some bizarre shit. He's very athletic. He's exciting to watch.
And he's elusive.
He is elusive.
Now,
with that being said.
What I saw, one play, Johnny Manziel is rolling to his left. Defensive tackle grabs him. He shakes loose and rolls back to his right. While falling backward, he just heaves the ball to the middle of the field. I mean, literally, I thought this was ball was going to go a lot further the way he threw it, or they were a lot closer to the end zone. No, he threw the ball up in the middle of the field.
Yep.
And by the God that is obviously wearing the Texas A&M jersey during that play, his receiver
it's his receiver, whatever, pogo stick, whatever.
Right, came running through and caught the ball.
He did it twice.
But you know what the best part about that series was the first time?
What?
Johnny Manziel sits there on the goal line, gets the ball in the shotgun, turns and lobs the ball up and gets picked off. To me, that just showed that the kids still got some maturing to do because it was arrogant. Everything about it, his body language is just like, yep, I'm going to throw it up and he's going to go get it.
Yeah.
You're not always going to have a receiver who can go get the ball, dude. It's cute in college. Yes, you can get away with it in college, but
And it's, when you play football like that, man, you find out that's why it's so hard to repeat as the Heisman Trophy winner, like in that position. People pick you apart. You know, even at the college level, they'll start to know
his whole career is going to be under a fucking microscope from here on out.
People, the media picks you apart. The players start to learn the way you play the game and stuff. And corners will start to learn, okay.
Us non-experts do it?
Yeah. I mean, Bama has definitely got some stuff to work on, but I tell you the one thing that looked much improved this week with Bama was their offensive line.
Oh, yes.
Dude was not on his ass one time. Their quarterback
AJ
McCarron was squeaky clean. He washed the shit with Tide.
He makes some crisp passes, but I'm going to tell you right now, neither one of these two dudes is ready to play in the NFL.
Neither one.
Not going to happen.
Now, let's move on to the Mighty Ducks, and they're looking kind of fucking mighty right now.
This has got to be their year. This has got to be the year where they go undefeated and put themselves right at the top and say, look, you assholes have to put another school in there besides 2 SEC teams. And you know what? I really hope they do it. I hope they go undefeated. I hope they pull this off. And with this weak-ass, soft-ass, buster-ass, I mean, their next toughest game is going to be at Stanford.
At Stanford, who's ranked number 5. They got at Washington that could beat. People are kind of overlooking that game. But really, if you think about...
And they play home versus UCLA.
UCLA.
Other than that...
They pretty much can they probably can run the table. They should run the table. Now, Ohio State got it done against California. They looked impressive. They're ranked 4th in the country. Now, they didn't have their QB and they managed to do it. So Urban Meyer's got something.
Let me ask you this. If you got 1, 2, 3, let's just say whoever is the top of the SEC wins, whoever the top of the Pac-12, let's say the SEC, Pac-12, and Big 13, whatever they are. All 3 of those teams, whoever it may be, are all undefeated, and they're 1, 2, 3 in the country. What are you going to do? Then it comes down to strength of schedule and a math formula. Because it's possible it could happen. Because I do not think Alabama's going to go undefeated. I think LSU has a better shot at going undefeated than Alabama. I think LSU.
The problem that sucks for LSU is they got to play Alabama and Alabama. You know.
And I think that's going to, if those teams both catch a loss, then you're possibly looking at Oregon versus Ohio State for the national title.
That could really happen.
And now I understand we're only on week 3 and a lot of shit will change and a lot of things will change. But as of right now, I mean, you're leaning hard toward an Oregon, Ohio State.
Yeah, if Oregon and Ohio State go undefeated, which can easily happen this year, not easily, but it's a good chance that it happen. You got to give them the national championship. Meanwhile, we know the best team will probably be not even probably, it's going to be an SEC team. But they're going to end up, they're going to have losses, you know. Stanford squeaked one out against Army. Louisville with Bridgewater had a decent game. I mean.
Yeah, they gave up 10 late points in the 4th quarter, which, I mean, up until that point, it was 20-3 most of the game. Yeah. 27. I mean, it was.
Yeah, LSU has looked solid as shit.
And then here's one of the schools in the ACC that's projected to do really well. And let me tell you right now, this team could end up at the end of the season undefeated. Yeah. And their true freshman quarterback is nasty.
The ACC, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say this, but next year, the ACC, and let me tell you something, now with Florida State, and I said it last week, Miami, Syracuse sucks this year, but Pitt coming in there, Louisville coming in next year when Maryland leaves. You've got 4 or 5 decent teams in the ACC. Decent. Now, when you think of the SEC, I always think of Georgia, Bama, LSU,
South Carolina.
And I say Auburn. I say those 5 teams are your front runners.
Well, then Texas A&M, they're in the SEC now too.
Are they?
Yeah.
And yeah, Florida's too. Okay, fuck that theory. Let's move on to fucking the Michigan game. I'm just thinking that the ACC can be competitive with the SEC, but
maybe down the road in like 2077.
Michigan, I'm going to go on a limb and say they're ranked 11th in the country.
Touch overrated.
They're definitely touch overrated. They struggled against Akron today.
You know what's going to happen? Dude, can you click on them real quick? Because I just want to see something.
Okay. George wants to see their schedule.
I want to see their schedule because I'm going to tell you when they're going to lose.
They're playing at Connecticut.
They'll beat them.
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb and say they're going to lose at Connecticut.
Okay, let's bet something.
What do you want to bet?
Cupcake.
Okay, cupcake. Cupcake. I think that Michigan's going to get their fucking first loss of the season at Connecticut.
Are you telling me they don't? No, scroll down some. There we go.
At Michigan State.
No, I'm looking at the very last game of their season. They are going to get the brakes beat off of them.
Yeah, they're going to get the brakes beat off them. This is how their schedule is. They got at Connecticut. They'll be at home against Minnesota, at Penn State, at home against Indiana, at Michigan State.
That's going to be a tough game.
That's always a tough game. At home against Nebraska.
That's not going to be easy.
That's not going to be easy, even though Nebraska looks like shit. But
Northwestern
at Northwestern could be a tough game because they're ranked 17th in the country. They look good. That could be tough. And then at Iowa, having that back-to-back on the road, they're going to be on the road 3 out of 4 games. Is that right? No, I'm wrong.
No.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, no, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4,
3 out
5.
of 5.
3
right.
out of 5.
And then they end up the season.
They play their last game at home versus Ohio State, and Ohio State is going to whip that ass. Now, Ohio State is one of the most, if not the most complete team in the NCAA.
Yeah,
they can run, they can pass, they can play defense. They're nasty.
Put it this way,
a nasty team.
They really are a nasty team. They're a lot different now that Urban Meyer's there and he's recruiting, because you look at them, they were shaky those last few years, but now. You're Trussell. They were definitely shaky with Trussell.
Motherfucking sweater vest lying sack of shit.
I know.
I hate people. They got his Mr. Rogers sweater on, fucking lying right through his picket fence teeth.
Off, you know?
I hate that shit, dude.
Now let's go on to the rest. Oklahoma did what they had to do. South Carolina struggled a little against it. They almost let Vanderbilt back into the game.
Vandy is underrated. Vandy's got a lot of things going on down there. They have some serious issues going on at that school. And Yeah, I mean, George and I, that could be a whole nother video, but if you haven't heard, go look up Vanderbilt and the big scandal that's starting to unravel there in Tennessee, because that's a fucking hot mess, and I'm sure within the next couple months it's going to be. And I'm going to tell you what, out of all the SEC schools, that's the one that's kind of the academic school, because it's a private school, and it's just, and they're having some serious character
That doesn't
issues.
make the SEC. If that's your academic school, and when this shit comes out, well, it's already out, but when it really comes out in the mainstream public, you're going to be like, that's your, like, iconic, like you said. And now this shit, I mean, just.
Put it this way. There's some states out there who are trying to pass a law that if you have sex while drunk, it's considered rape. Now just think about that. Go read the story about Vanderbilt. And then here's the other thing. On Facebook, there were people posting about this thing. Like, they need to read it, because it's not just one guy having sex with his drunk girlfriend. He then called his teammates, and his teammates came and ran a train on her while she was passed out.
And she had no idea. She was completely knocked the fuck out until she found out that there were pictures about it.
In video,
and people were like, she's like, what the fuck happened?
And whatever was going on in the video made the reporter say this was racially motivated, which is, she's white. The guy, her boyfriend was white, and the players he called were black. So I'm thinking, what were they saying during this? Like, take this, I'm like, that's, and any of you have a daughter out there, this has to hit home. And for you monkeys who are sitting, like, you should have seen some of the comments some of these people are leaving about this story. Like, on their Facebook thing. Oh, this is bullshit. They're just trying to go after the players. I'm like, you need to read the story. Like, read the story. Then comment.
I had a buddy, man, this is a funny story. It'll make it fast as shit. That when his daughter got 18, getting ready to go to school, you know, he knew she was drinking a little bit with her friends like we all do. He got her wasted in the house. Completely drunk. And then while she was completely drunk, he did all kinds of fucked up shit to her. Like, just, like, took her clothes, did this, because it was her dad. Did this, drew on her, did all kinds of crazy shit, and then took pictures and showed it to her when she woke up. She had no knowledge of it. He goes, look, honey, see what can happen to you in drunk, so when you go away to school. Think about it. She's like, Dad, you're such an asshole. But it was a valuable lesson for her, because she was like, holy fucking shit. I thought it was a good, you know, some people might not agree with this parent, but I thought it was a smart fucking thing.
I'm going to tell you what, if and when I ever have children, they will learn their drinking limits before they go to college, because people do fucked up things. Shit. Especially when you're 18, 19 and you're away from the home, no one's there to watch you.
Yep.
Shit.
It goes down. Now, my Cornhuskers, who I tend to root for, this will be the last year that I'll really be pulling for the Cornhuskers a lot, because Maryland's going to the Big Ten. It's going to be a conflict of interest. Because you know what? I can't go against my homeboys. Can't go against the Terps, man.
They went against you and balled the fuck out.
I know.
They deuced it. They're like, we can't win here. Let's go over there. They're going to get housed in the Big Ten.
Everybody's saying that. I so don't think that's going to happen.
How many years?
I think right now, do you think next year, what divisions do you think next year, the ACC is going to be better than the Big Ten?
Right. And Maryland won't be there. Okay. I'm failing to see your point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you said they're going to get housed in the Big Ten. I'm like, shit, they would get housed in the fucking ACC next year.
Here's a question I want to ask you, since you're Maryland. Okay. How many years till they can honestly compete for the Big Ten title?
2.
You think in 2 years they got a shot at winning the Big Ten?
Who's good in the Big Ten, George?
Ohio State.
Okay. Next team, because there's 2 teams that compete for the title.
Michigan.
Okay, what we just said about Michigan?
They're rotten.
Anyway,
So let's finish this.
Speaking of Big Ten, Big Ten team, Purdue and Notre Dame played, okay? Notre Dame, another
Overrated.
overrated team in I was
They are
NFL.
desperately missing their quarterback.
They are desperately missing. One team that's looking pretty good this year is the Washington Huskies. They're sitting at 19th.
So it's so weird.
And yeah, to see that. And they beat Illinois today, 34-24.
How'd you leave that off? Illinois.
But, they're looking good.
Yeah, what's gotten into Washington?
I don't know.
I mean, they used to be the doormat of the Pac-12.
Washington is where football's at. You got the Huskies. You got Oregon. That's Oregon. The Pacific Northwest is maybe what I should
If
say.
you say the shit that you're about to say next, this video's fucking done. So go ahead.
The Seahawks.